right, my dear, we got this big event that 2 or 3 people show up for called Gasparilla this weekend. As you well know. What's in the stars for it?
I think it's a great weekend for Gasparilla, and we've had a change. Mars, the planet of ego-oriented expression, has stopped its forward motion yesterday, and it's going to back up for 3 months. It's going to back up between now and April 16th. It's been in the sign of Virgo since November 10th.
Okay.
What that means is normally it stays in the sign for 6 weeks. Now it's going to be in Virgo until the middle of, till the beginning of July. What that means is we all start a bunch of projects, throw a whole bunch of stuff up on the wall. Not all of it sticks, and during this backing up period, the stuff that's not going to work out falls off the wall, and you need to leave it off the wall. And at the end, when it goes direct on the 16th, whatever you have left is valid, and you can go ahead and build it back up. So,
right.
For all 12 signs, starting with Aquarius, because that's the sign that we're in. This has to do with other people's resources. Aquarians end up spending a ton of money and a ton of borrowed money. And they have difficulty with getting other people's resources to flow their way. So they end up spending more money than they have coming in. So it's really a kind of rough time to be an Aquarian. For a Pisces, it is in their 7th house of partners, and they will find their partners have the upper hand. And are going to start to tell Pisces kind of what to do. And the Pisces is probably going to resist but not get very far with it, because a lot of it's really good for the Pisces' own being. So, but their best bet, male or female, is to say yes to whatever their partner says.
Okay.
For Aries, it is starts and stops with work projects. Aries are trying very hard to reorganize not what they do, but the way that they do it.
Mm-hmm.
And they started out on a good plan in November, and then part of that tends to fall apart over the next 2 months or so. And so by the end of April, they will have completely revamped their work environment, better suited to what their talents and skills are. Tauruses have the best time with this energy because they just have a good time with it, which is really good news for you being married to a Taurus. For them, it's in their 5th house of love affairs, of children, of sports, of amusements and pleasures, and they have a much better time with their creative processes, and they get to create something new in their life, either a child of their mind or actually a child, so they want to be kind of proactive about that. For Geminis, they've got a mess they got to clean up at home, and I think it's interesting the United States' rising sign is Gemini, and we have a mess at home that we really need to clean up.
Amen to that.
And there's a lot of that going on, and it's just literally straightening out things at home. For Cancers, it's in their 3rd house of day-to-day living. They have an easy time with this energy as well. The pace of their day-to-day living picks up. They'll be doing probably a couple of things at once, doing 2 jobs, wearing 2 hats, doing 1 job kind of thing. And by the time, and they also get some kind of certification or something that helps to advance their credential one way or the other. For Leos, they spend a ton of money, and I'm not sure whether, I know. But sometimes my thought about that is it takes money to make money, and you may be taking money and putting it into a venture that started in November, and it's going to take some money to sustain it before it starts making its own after April 16th or so. So they have to be careful on the spending spree.
Gotcha.
For Virgo, Mars is in their sign, and these guys are going to be like the Robert Conrads of the Zodiac, going, knock this off my shoulder. Virgos are fiery and fired up and really trying very, very hard to promote their agenda and their interests. And woe to anybody that gets in the Virgo's way. For Libra, this is a very frustrating time because Mars is in their 12th house. For one reason or another, Libras have to stay behind the scenes. They can't really impact anything that's going on. They're sort of along for the ride with it. And their best bet is just to keep quiet and wait for the fallout to settle and the dust to settle before they come back out in November and pick whatever side they're going to be on. So unfortunately, they have to give a little more than they get. For Scorpios, great energy for them. They achieve a long-standing hope, wish, goal, or objective through a team or a group effort rather than an individual one. And Scorpios will be well served by their well-placed, light-eyed female friends. For Sagittarians, they are trying to duck and run for cover. They have had a lot of things going on in their career sector, and they've made some great advances in the last 2 months or so. Now, rather than continuing to advance, they have to consolidate that. And be able to really own the position that they've gotten into. And they will take 2 or 3 months to get really comfortable with that. And then the last sign is Capricorn. And they do very, very well with important matters at a distance. They do very well on the road. Legal matters go well. Contractual matters go well. Eli Manning is a Capricorn, so I'm thinking that's who's going to win the Super Bowl.
Oh.
So that's kind of tomorrow's news today for the 12 signs of the zodiac. And
Well, thank you, my dear,
I
for all the
think
news.
we have lovely weather for Gasparilla, and that's what counts.
Yeah, it's going to be a good weekend. Well, thank you, man, and we'll see you next Wednesday and do this all over again.
Always a pleasure.